The foreign scene, Trump to fly to New York ahead of court hearing. Scores of police, army and civil defense patrol vans have now been deployed to GRA Junction in Port Harcourt following a clash between PDP and APC supporters this morning. Trouble started when the APC governorship candidate Tony Cole and his supporters attempted to access the INEC office for the inspection of the INEC materials this morning. The PDP protesters pushed Mr. Cole, shouting for him not to proceed. Sporadic shots followed as security agents attached to both the PDP and APC fired multiple gunshots into the air during the clash.
Come on. We can go now.
Correspondent Emeka Otuka was at the scene during the incident. He joins us now for more. Unfortunately, we are not able to connect with Emeka Otuka. Earlier, members of the PDP in Rivers State protested at the INEC state headquarters demanding for the certified true copy of the results sheet used for the February 25 and March 18 election. The protesters blocked both the water lines and GRA areas of Aba Road, the two major access points to the INEC head office. A leader of the protesters and Deputy Speaker of the Rivers State House of Assembly, Edison Eye, while addressing journalists, called for all political parties in the state to be jointly allowed to inspect whatever materials that will be inspected at the INEC office for the tribunal.
We have come physically to register our protest and our presence that INEC cannot allow any of the political parties to inspect materials without the order. We are saying even us as PDP don't allow us to inspect the electoral materials without the other political parties. This is democracy. That's the rule of law.
Chairman Ikwere Local Government Area Samuel Wanosike also spoke during the protest.
And that's what we are saying. We just have one demand. Any inspection that we preclude going to check materials used for the both elections, February 25th and 18th of March, must be done jointly. We are not asking that PDP should do it alone. We are also not agreeing that APC should do it alone. All political parties must do a joint inspection. We want joint inspection because it is clear and obvious that 3 days ago, a witch cried and the next morning a baby died.
The Ikwere Council chairman also said the recent arrest of APC lawyers by the police has left them suspicious of both security agencies and the INEC.
If police could come and tell us that in their sting operation, they arrested APC in Bellevue Hotel with senior advocates of Nigeria being present, cooking results that they want to introduce to tribunal outside what is in INEC coffers, then it calls for worry. And that's why the Democratic Party is here. The lawyers, both the security agents, both INEC, we are suspecting everybody. We will not joke with the mandate given to the people of Rivers State. We will defend the mandate. Everybody you see here is a volunteer. We are volunteered to be awake and we'll keep vigil.
We finally have Mr. Emeka Otuka on the line, and we will be talking to him now. Mr. Emeka Otuka, good afternoon. Hello. Hello. All right, we lost the connection yet again, so we'll continue with the news. The Rivers State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal opens today. The APC governorship candidate in Rivers State, Tony Cole, says amongst the documents seized, I take that again. As the Rivers State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal opens today, the APC governorship candidate in Rivers State, Tony Cole, says amongst the documents seized by the police when 3 APC lawyers were arrested over the weekend were strong evidence to be used in court by the APC to challenge the conduct of the March 18 elections. Mr. Cole said this in an interview while confirming that all electoral documents, laptops and printing machines seized by the police during the arrest have been recovered.
What we had to make sure was necessary to be released where all the evidence are from EC8, EC8A, EC8B, and most people know. If you don't know what that is, these are the agent's copy of the evidence that we had an election. If you take those and it disappears, then it means that APC was not in the field at all, and we couldn't allow that.
He said the reasons given for the arrest and seizure were flimsy and unnecessary.
At the end of the day, I think it was very flimsy. What was said at the end was that they had a tip, and based on that tip, without investigation, went in and arrested lawyers, and it blew up in their face. It was totally unnecessary.
The governorship candidate of the APC accused the Rivers State Police Command of creating a unit called Wike Police, which he claims has been used to harass and intimidate opposition parties in the state.
And the people who arrested us, and this must be on record, there is a group that they call Wike Police and Wike Police Station, and in Mosul. We cannot have two separate police groups. So the first group are the ones that went, and they're the same ones that were used for hijacking elections. They're the same ones that are used for arresting all our people. They're the same ones. The last time when we were having the election, this same group were the ones that went to arrest candidates. So this must stop. You cannot have one particular group of Nigerian police force and another group of Nigerian police force. And it was these ones from the surveillance and intelligence group that went.
The arrested APC lawyers have long been released. Meanwhile, some Rivers residents have reacted differently to the statement credited to Governor Wike, which called on opposition political parties not to distract the incoming administration of Siminalayi Fubara. They told our correspondent that the rights of other parties who are aggrieved with the outcome of the March 18 election should not be infringed on. However, also noted the possibility of a distraction from governance if the tribunal goes on with the cases. Others said the incoming administration should contract the legal team and focus on delivering good governance to Rivers people pending the determination of the suit at the tribunal. Yesterday, Rivers Wike asked opposition parties seeking legal redress in the election petition tribunal to reconsider their stance and prioritize the development of the state above personal ambition. Governor Wike made the call at the PDP Thanksgiving service in honor of the governor-elect, his deputy, and other elected representatives in the just concluded election at the All Saints Cathedral Anglican Communion, Rumokrushi. He called on all governorship candidates who lost in the March 18 governorship election to join the governor-elect, Siminalayi Fubara, to consolidate on the development in the state.
I urge that those who are going to tribunal should let Rivers State move forward. Support the governor-elect to move Rivers State forward. If we are not focused, we have been distracted. And that's what they want to do now, by making sure the governor-elect is distracted.
Governor Wike also advised his successor to be firm and resolute in defending the interest of the state, irrespective of whose ox is God.
I want to urge you, don't be afraid. God who gave you the mantle will never disappoint you. Be focused and do the work you are elected for. Leave the tribunal for your lawyers to do their work. Focus on your work. God will lead you through.
The governor also charged those elected to represent the state in the National Assembly to prioritize the interest of the state. He cautioned them against going to Abuja to form a cartel to undermine the governor-elect. Away from that, the grieving family of a volunteer traffic warden, Chukwuka Monye, who was shot dead by a police officer in a police patrol van at the flyover in Rumokoro over the weekend, is seeking justice. Eyewitnesses say Mr. Moye was killed around 6 p.m. on Saturday while on the volunteer duty following an argument with police officers in the police van. The eyewitnesses say the policeman, after shooting at Mr. Moye, entered the police patrol vehicle and drove off with the other police officers. The body of Chukwuka was later deposited in the mortuary by police officers led by the DPO of Special Area, Rumodumaya, who visited the scene. Speaking to correspondent Emeka Otuka, the grieving father, John Moye, narrated how he received the news of his son's death. He called on the police to investigate and bring the killer of his son to justice.
I was in the house. Somebody used his number to call me. It's a friend to my son. Okay. That the number he used is Tukao. He told me that they shot him. He said police shot him, according to what they told me. Before he reached there, the body was lying on the ground. I want government to find out, to investigate the case and find out what actually happened that they made the short film.
Mr. Moye said his son, the late Chukwuka, was a 43-year-old father of 3 children and a graduate of Bauchi State Polytechnic with a master's degree. He said his son was not a cultist and never caused any trouble till his death.
He's married with 3 children, a daughter and 2 sons. My son is a quiet boy. He don't make trouble with anybody. Throughout his schooling, he never gets any problem with anybody. Anybody for there know him as a quiet man. They don't find trouble.
Reacting to this, the Public Relations Officer of the Rivers State Police Command, SP Grace Iringekoko, said Chukwuka Moye was shot by unknown gunmen in police uniform suspected to be cultists. SP Iringekoko said the matter has been transferred to the state CID for discreet investigation. Still ahead, President Buhari Oshibajo, 28 governors, ministers to begin asset declaration. Do stay tuned as we go for a quick commercial break.
You are tuned in to
Nigeria Info. We'll be right back after this.
News. The APC Presidential Campaign Council says the incoming administration of Bola Tinubu will decide the date the fuel subsidy will be removed. Spokesperson of the council, Festus Keyamo, tells newsmen that he has no doubt that the Tinubu presidency will terminate subsidy payments in line with the plan of the Buhari regime. He, however, cautioned that since government and not all policy was a continuum, the former Lagos governor should be left alone to decide on the date of his choice to execute it. President Muhammadu Buhari, Vice President Yemi Oshibajo, and the 44 ministers in the federal executive assets ahead of May 29, when their tenure CBN announcements have been made for the issuance of the assets forms to the ongoing officials and their successors. In business, the 36 states in Nigeria shared a total of about 9.3 trillion naira as federal allocation between June 2019 and December 2022, a period of 43 months. Data sourced from 43 monthly reports of the Federation Accounts Allocation Committee, as released by the National Bureau of Statistics, indicated that Delta State got the highest allocation during the period under review, while Akwa Ibom and Rivers State followed. In entertainment, the Ogun State Police Command has arraigned singer Abib Akikiola, popularly known as Portable, on 6 counts bordering on assault before the Ifo Court in Ogun State this morning. In sports, Paris Saint-Germain suffered a second 1-0 home defeat in a row to Lyon on Sunday. The defeat saw their lead at the top of Ligue 1 cut to 6 points.
And now, we bring you news from around the world.
Former U.S. President Donald Trump is set to fly from his estate in Florida to New York ahead of a scheduled court hearing on Tuesday. The former U.S. President is expected to arrive this evening and will spend the night in Trump Tower. Police erected barricades outside the building over the weekend, with demonstrations expected both there and at the courthouse in Lower Manhattan. Mr. Trump is facing charges related to hush money payments made to a porn star before the 2016 election. On the news this afternoon, you heard PDP and APC supporters clashed in Jare, Port Harcourt this morning. Rivers PDP protest to demand access to election materials. Rivers State Election Petition Tribunal opens today. Governor Wike has told opposition parties seeking redress at tribunal to reconsider. President Buhari Oshibajo, 28 governors, ministers to begin asset declaration. On the foreign scene, former U.S. President Donald Trump to fly to New York at the court hearing. The news was edited by Martha Okeri. Cloudy weather in Port Harcourt this afternoon. Remember, peace is the path to the prosperity of a nation. Let peace reign. I am Kalada Kurubatubo. Good afternoon and do
on your talk station. The conversation never ends.
Let him walk, we will vote him. You see, the pen doesn't have to even tell us to wait for the godfather to take him.